So most of us know we could be saving more.
Yeah, our next guest says it doesn't have to be complicated either.
Yeah, Emily Zekonis, a financial expert with Raisin, is here with smart strategies to help maximize your savings. So good morning, Emily. Great to see you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
So you had a new study that came out that said most Americans know they could be earning more interest on their savings, but they're not moving their money. So why is that?
Yeah, so it seems about nearly 80% of Americans say they know they could be earning more on their savings. But in just the past year, just over 30% actually took the time to move their funds. So it's really not that lack of awareness, it's a lack of action. In fact, for most of us, our relationship with our bank is actually one of the longest relationships we've ever had. The average American has been with their current banking institution for nearly 17 years. So we start that account as a young adult and then we stick with it.
That's very true. And you also mentioned that people spend 50 hours a year bargain hunting, but not even 15 minutes shopping for savings rates. First, I cut deep. I felt that. Yeah. But why do you think that disconnect even exists?
So there's really this false notion that finding a better interest rate is extremely difficult. In fact, just over 70% of people said that they wish it was easier to actually compare interest rates. And in today's digital age, it really is pretty simple. You have countless online tools that you can utilize that really cut out all of that research. And then you have even more advanced tools like savings platforms like Raisin, where you can actually not only just compare those options, but actually open and manage those accounts all through a single login.
Okay, so if somebody's sitting at home right now and says, you know what, okay, I need to wake up and I need to start saving now. Yeah. What would be the first step they should take?
The first step that you should take really is to know your numbers. So it can be a little bit scary to open that banking account or that banking app and kind of check out where you are, but it's really important so that you have that benchmark so you can create an actionable plan from there. So the first thing you want to check is, okay, what funds do I have coming in? What are my fixed necessary expenses? And what are the things that maybe I could cut back on without cutting all the joy out of my life?
Oh, cutting out all the joy. I mean,
keep the joy.
Yeah, please. That might be why you're advocating too for these mini goals here.
Yes.
If you are someone who is living paycheck to paycheck, perhaps also trying to bring in some joy too, how do you go about setting mini goals to change your financial situation?
Yeah, so mini goals are all about making really concrete goals. So it's having things that are actionable and time bound. When you can't really visualize a goal or you don't have actionable steps towards it, it's hard to actually keep yourself accountable and achieve it. So it's important to say, I want to reach XYZ goal, which is this amount of money in savings by this date. That way you can also work backwards and say, okay, then every month I'm going to put away this amount of money, or I'm going to take this actionable step.
Okay, but sometimes people save and they spend the money anyway. How do you prevent yourself from doing that?
So one way is setting up maybe automatic transfers. So you have your traditional, your checking and savings that you use every day, maybe opening up another high yield savings account and automatically having a very, very small amount even going to that account just on a regular basis over time, thanks to compounding interest. That can really put you in a different financial situation.
That way you don't see the money.
That way you don't
just
see
go
it.
straight.
Don't see it, don't miss it.
Exactly.
You know, let's say, for example, you're like going to come into more money, a new job, Powerball. Is it smart to take that moment right there and just say, hey, look, I'm making more money. How can I set myself up to save more?
Exactly. And that's where kind of that, again, the automatic transfers are a great tool there. Putting that money out of sight, out of mind means you're less likely to spend it, but you still have it there somewhere where it's accessible in case of an emergency. That's why an option like a high yield savings account where it's easy to access is a really good option. If you do have a large amount that's just going to sit there, when it's sitting there as well, it's going to be earning more in interest than a traditional savings account. So over time, that large sum even turns into something bigger.
Well, that's awesome. And since most of us will probably not win Powerball, this is really great advice. Emily, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.